That's what it's designed to do, honey. It's designed to get rid of the Federal Reserve and the IRS and all the alphabet agencies. The federal government will only be responsible, supposedly, and this could be different than what I've been taught, but according to our Constitution, the federal government is extremely small. It's only required to protect our borders, which would be the Coast Guard and anything regarding the protection of our borders. We're not supposed to be going out starting wars with other countries and be in the bully pulpit and try to rule the world. So we need to take care of business on our own home ground, and then they need to keep the postal roads open so mail can be delivered, and they need to provide a postal building. Those are the only three things I know that the federal government is responsible for. So by having this illegal, unlawful corporate government, they have got over 500 people in Washington, D.C. making laws that absolutely cripple our country and cripple us. And so hopefully that's all going to go away, honey.
Is this something that we're going to see soon?
I sure do hope so. I'm very worried like everybody else.
Well, it's definitely something to look forward to, along with the Dinar revalue. But, yeah, I just, I have a question, but I don't know how to ask it.
Just ask it.
Well, okay, the White Knights, are they supposed to be good?
Yes, the White Knights are good.
Okay, now can I? Were they part of the KKK?
Oh God, no.
Okay, that's what it shows when you pull up White Knights on the internet. It's like it shows part of the KKK, and I thought, oh my God, what is that about? So that makes me feel better. Okay.
Okay, that's a really good example. I'm really glad you shared that. I hadn't heard that one yet.
Oh, well, good. Well, I was afraid I wanted to bring it up because it's really bothering me, but I thought I didn't know how to bring it up. But I'm glad I did. So good.
Bless your heart, and thank you for exposing that. But that is an That's an exemplary example of what I'm talking about.
Okay, good.
Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. About the disinformation on the Internet. Mm-hmm. The dark agenda has plugged our holes at every place they can. Just because we're calling them White Knights. Now, the White Hat group is dark agenda as far as I know.
Well,
okay.
Yeah. I listened to that guy, and I didn't know what to think.
You had red flags and pat yourself on the back.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes where there's smoke,
in
there's
fact,
fire.
It kind of turned me off of this completely. It's like, then I think this is just BS. And and then I was listening to other calls, and I thought, whoa, maybe, do you know who Historian is?
No, I don't know that.
Okay, well, she's on one of the sites, and I've been trying to get back with her and asking her questions about this because she is very informative and has put out some good things and I guess what is she doing? Just sending out good messages left, every now and then, and I guess getting us to where we can start asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yes, that's a very good thing for her to do.
Yes, she is amazing. She's amazing. Okay. Well, I feel really good about that. I'm glad I asked that because that was number one on my questions, but I was afraid. So, okay. Well, I will let someone else get on the call. I know I have another 1,000 questions. Will you be having more calls?
That depends on Pam and Lynn and what they would like to do. And so just check back with this phone call and stay in tune with them.
Is Pam on another website or anything, or?
Well, we're going every night from 7 p.m. until whenever, till the last mod drops, and we basically wanted to do little different tips and different information, and also it's a place where we can come and sit and listen for Dinar updates. And so until the RV happens, and even after the RV happens, to kind of help and share what other people are going through and what they're doing. We, of course, want everyone to stay protected. Do not give out how much dinar you have and things of that nature, but just to, kind of inform the dinar community, because we feel that we need to help everyone. There's so many great people in the dinar that, they have a lot of questions, and sometimes you just want to have a place to come and sit, and that's why we started the neighborhood, and you can come and join us any evening, and hopefully Carol will come back with us.
Oh, it's Carol. Okay, I did not know her name. Can I ask one more question? This is another kind of a wild question. Is Obama a good guy or a bad guy?
Are you asking me or
Can you
Lynn
answer that? Pardon?
Who are you asking that question of, honey?
Whoever can answer.
Well,
as far as this NESARA.
I can give you my opinion.
Okay.
And then if Lynn and Pam want to put their opinion in, you need that in your mix too. When Obama was first inaugurated, I was absolutely appalled and ajar when I saw who he put in his cabinet. And the Spirit told me, Carol, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer.
Yes.
And from that time on, I've watched him very carefully. Look what he did with Hillary Clinton. He made her Secretary of State. He's got her traveling the world. She looks so haggard most of the time. She's wearing herself out, and he's keeping her at bay. He's able to watch every move that she makes. She's high profile and to the public and to him.
Okay.
Now, when he... Oh, excuse me. I had to get up for a minute and sit down. I've got congestive heart failure that sometimes acts up when I exert, stress. But
I'm wondering if you're hearing my dog snore.
No.
Okay, good.
No, you're fine, honey. Thank you for the concern. I appreciate people like yourself that are aware. But when he did that bailout of the banks and the insurance companies, AIG is one of the darkest insurance companies there is. And I'm going to share something very shocking to you in a minute about that. But I, like everybody else, was appalled at the amount of money that he took out of our coffers and gave to the banks and the insurance agencies. And guess what? None of it went to the people. The banks didn't do the mortgage revaluations or reconstructions or anything. It just went for the dark agenda. Now, just to give you a little high sign, our people have been trying to bankrupt the Federal Reserve for many, many years. That's part of the job, because if we can get the Federal Reserve bankrupt, we can take it over. Now, what do you think that his expenditure of all that money went for? It helped bankrupt the Federal Reserve, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That was another thing that I was shown.
Well, can I ask a question real quick? I thought Bush is the one that signed that, and it went into Obama's into his year, but Bush is the one that pushed that through. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
The bailout? In fact, he said it on TV.
Ask a question and then be quiet and let me
I'm sorry.
Please don't go on and try to discombobulate everything if you don't mind.
No, I don't. I apologize.
I'll take all the time that Pam and Lynn will give me to help you, okay? But ask a question and then give me time to answer, and then I'll give it back to you if there's anything else you want to ask. We'll keep better order that way, and we'll get through quicker.
Okay.
Okay. You have to understand that Daddy Bush Sr., is one of the darkest of the dark, and so is Cheney, okay? And they will do anything to hurt the people. That's how they have been programmed by the dark and the Illuminati. And it's very sad, but they all work for the same boss, okay? Now, if you watch this Republican nomination type of thing, I was surprised after the Iowa caucus that they had Romney's photograph. You know how on the final analysis after they have the vote of the caucus, they list the photographs of the ones that came up in the top four, and then they'll show the other four. Well, they had Romney in first place, even though he was behind, what's his name, the young guy, Santorum, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And Then there was Ron Paul, I believe. I think those were the top three. And they kept Romney's photograph in the very first position the whole time, even though Santorum was ahead of him. Now, to me, as I've watched these things over the many years I've been involved, if you don't understand that they've already picked their president, it doesn't matter whether they win by vote or not. Look what happened with Bush against Gore back in Florida when he was first elected president. Did you see the shock on Bush's face when he didn't carry Florida? He looked at Jeb Bush, his brother, and he says, "You were supposed to take care of this for me."
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay? And so then all that nonsense happened in Florida. It does not matter, folks. We are being governed by a corporation, which is unlawful. There's a difference between legal and illegal and lawful and unlawful. Legal and illegal is corporate jargon, and lawful and unlawful is common law jargon, okay? Many people do not know that. I didn't know it for a long time either. So we all learn at different rates, okay? But they always pick their poison for us, and so it's already been pretty much determined that Romney is going to be the president from their side. Now, let's see. Go back to your question, sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, okay, you said when he bailed out, when he had Hillary for his cabinet mate.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
And then AIG, and that's when I interrupted. I'm sorry.
That's okay, sweetheart. You want to know about AIG and how dark they are?
Oh, I knew that. I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe people on the call don't. I'm going to do a thumbnail sketch for everybody's edification how bad AIG is. There's a gentleman by the name, he goes by the name of Lenny Bloom. That's not his real name. I used to have him on my call quite a few times, and he enlightened us a lot. And I'm going to give you his website. No, I'm not. I'm not, because it might put you into fear, and I really don't want to do that. But this man was, he's very much involved in outing the dark agenda, okay? He's an archivist with the University of Toronto. His parents own 20% of the two largest conservative newspapers in Montreal, Toronto, and he was a professor, I think. He's a graduate of the University of Toronto, and I believe he was a professor there for a while. He met, have you ever heard of Sherman Skolnick? Sherman Skolnick has passed away. He passed away a few days, about a week before the first time I had Lenny Bloom on my calls, quite a few years ago. And Lenny Bloom had just come from his funeral when he showed up on my call, a prearranged agreement with him to come on our call to enlighten us about a lot of things. He knows Lorne Michael, the producer of Saturday Night Live, which I cannot stand. I think it's too, to me it's like a porno show, and I don't appreciate that at all in my living room. So I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I don't see the humor in a lot of things they present. But Lenny knows Lorne Michael, and he's very involved with the Saturday Night Live, exposing a lot of the dark agenda. And he told us on my call, thank God for Hustler Magazine, Larry Flint, was shot by the dark agenda because he was allowing stories presented as novels to come out in his magazine outing the dark agenda. And so the dark agenda wanted to get rid of Larry Flint because he was helping the good guys. Mm-hmm. Oddly as that sounds, I was shocked. And Lenny Bloom told us, he says, all of the stuff that we've been trying to get out to the people for years has to come out in the form of novels. All these mystery novels like, Tom Clancy and all these people that are writing all these mystery novels and everything, they're outing the dark agenda. They're showing you what has been going on for years and what you're up against. But it has to be put out in the form of a novel or a cartoon. Lenny Bloom was... what's the word I'm looking for? He was a consultant, that's the word. He was a consultant on Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, and they wanted him to be involved in Spider-Man 3, and he said, no, you shouldn't be doing the Spider-Man 3. He wasn't approving of that movie, so he didn't get involved in that one. But the